Shri Ganesha Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 37 of Balakanda. In the previous chapter, Vishwamitra was telling the story of Ganga and Uma, the two daughters of Himavan, and he tells about Uma how she was deprived from getting a son from Shiva as the Teja of Shiva was put into the earth and then into the fire and the air, the wind god and the fire god. Then that story continues. While Sri Mahadeva was engaged in yogic meditation, the Devas, under the leadership of Agni, went to the region of Brahma, where with Indra they paid reverence to the Lord of the world and said, O Lord, the beginning of creation, you did make Sri Mahadeva as our leader, but now he has retired to the Himalayas and is engaged in the practice of austerity with Uma. O you who are desirous of good of the world, do what you consider ought to be done. You are our only refuge. Then Sri Brahma encouraged the Devas with gentle words, saying, O Devas, the curse of Uma Devi that you should remain without offspring is irrevocable. The fire god Agni will cause Ganga to bear a son who will destroy the enemies of the gods. The youngest daughter of Himachala, Uma, will look upon her sister's son as her own and will inevitably lavish her affection on him. In the meantime, there was a parallel story that was going on where the demon king Taraka started troubling the whole world. Brahma has blessed him that he will be invincible and he can only be defeated by a small newborn child. However, now that Uma has cursed all the devas, saying that nobody can get a child, so the problem is who will now going to kill Taraka? So the decision was only Shiva can get an offspring. However, Shiva's Teja is put into the earth, and that Teja was put now into the Ganga so that she will bear the Kartikeya, the newborn, who will later going to kill that demon named Taraka. O Rama, the words of Sri Brahma filled the gods with satisfaction and they offered obeisance to him. Then they all circumambulated Mount Kailasha, the repository of precious metals, and begged Agni to beget a son. Agni, who is having the Teja of Shiva, Agni acquiesced in their request, accepted their request, and approaching Sri Ganga, he said, O Devi, let us beget a son, for it is the wish of the gods. Assuming the form of a celestial nymph, Ganga inspired the fire god to plant the seed of Shiva in her her every vein being filled with splendor. After some time, she addressed Agni, saying, O Deva, I am unable to bear the ever increasing splendor which you have communicated to me, which is the Shiva's Teja taken by Agni. It is now put into Ganga. My body is burning like fire. My mind is agitated. I am filled with fear. Agni replied, O sinless one, place these fighters near the Himalayas, because if Ganga, being herself cold, if she cannot bear the fighters, the next step is to put it in the Himalayas, where it is much more chilling weather, because the fighters is as hot as the fire itself. Then Ganga Devi expelled the resplendent being shining like God. This substance falling on the earth became the purest gold that can be found. All objects in its proximity became silver, and the more distant areas exposed to its penetrating rays that became copper. This is actually whenever a child is delivered, there will be various carcasses which will be thrown out. And here, when Subramanya or Kartikeya is born, the rest of the remaining from the womb of Ganga turned out to be gold, silver, and copper. The baser parts became zinc and lead. In this way, its brilliance was transmuted into metals and spread abroad, and the mountains and forests nearby were changed to gold. O Rama, gold being produced in the dazzling form is called Jatarupa, means form born, and O hero, that is why gold shines like fire. The grass, the creepers, the shrubs, all were converted into gold, and from that splendor was born the Kumara or Kumara Swami. The Devas with Indra engaged Krittikas to nurse the child, and they regarded him as their own son. There were 6 Krittikas who became the mother for that newborn. The gods named the child as Kartikeya in reverence to Krittikas and said, he shall be your son, he shall be our son, and he will be renowned in the 3 worlds. The Kritikas bought the child, and as he grew, his form resembled the fire. Because the infant was born prematurely, the Devas called him Skanda because he slipped out of the womb of Ganga into the region of Himalaya. He is called as Kanda. The nurses began to nourish the child with milk, and he shone like flame with 6 mouths, because there were 6 Kritikas. With 6 mouths, he sucked the milk of 6 nurses at the same time. Soon he grew so powerful that while at an infant, he challenged groups of demons, this Taraka and others, to combat, and all the gods appointed him their commander in chief. The Devas and Agni paid affectionate homage to this child. So Kumara became the commander in chief of the divine army. O Rama, this is the inspiring and merit bestowing story of Sri Ganga and Kartikeya. O Raghava, on this earth, those who read this narrative with faith and devotion shall have long lives, sons and grandsons, and obtain the divine region of Skanda. Thus ended chapter 37 of the Balakanda in Ramayana, which narrates in detail the story of birth of Kartikeya, who finally killed the demon Taraka and became himself the commander-in-chief of the army of Devas, or the divine army. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.